Nostalgia. We've all felt it many a times. When we are growing up, we feel that our childhood was the best in our teenage years. In our adulthood, we feel teenage years were great. In more of an adulthood, we feel our 20s were brilliant. We always yearn for what has gone by. We always yearn for what will never come back. And that feeling translates into film, television, video games as well. Tonight we'll talk about these feelings within the context of entertainment. So if you like this video, don't forget there's a subscribe button right down there. Don't forget to hit that. Nostalgia is a sentimental feeling. Nostalgia is the warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you look back on something. It is relevant, as I said earlier, in all of us. We all feel that bittersweetness when we think of something because it was so wonderful, but it's not here anymore. Nostalgia is very relevant in movies and TV shows as well. How long or how many times do we actually look back fondly on The Simpsons? How many times we look back fondly on movies like The Goonies or the earlier horror movies and TV shows? It is so relevant in our society when we look into the concept of movies and TV shows that there are so many remakes that are being made, so many reboots that are being made, that a lot of people are complaining, where the hell is the originality? Well, right here in this freaking video, maybe not even here. Nostalgia, if we see, is always there in these movies and TV shows. Forget about remakes. Sometimes we make things on the 90s or set in the 90s, set in the 60s, set in the 70s, and they always use a certain environment, a certain way of thinking, a certain way of talking. Yes, it is more relevant towards the times, but a lot of times it makes us also feel so yearning for those days, so much yearning for those moments that we love seeing that. Like if you see Mad Men, it was such a hit because we saw something so much into the past, and the older generation loved it for reliving those years, and the younger generation were enamored. That 90s felt that way. Wow, 60s must feel so different. Don't forget about video games. These days, if you go to see video games, everything is being remade. Every little thing is being rebooted. When we thought life was simpler, so those games were great. How many times we look back on a Mario, how many times we look back on a Sonic and thought, wow, that was a peak generation of gaming. Well, objectively, in my opinion, it was not, but we get that feeling, the 8-bit yearning. And latest speaking, we are rebooting Resident Evils, rebooting and remaking so many other games. They released, I beg your pardon, sort of Grand Theft Auto, which did not meet expectations, but it was a selling point. People did download it, people did want to relive it again, and they did. Having remakes of Red Dead Redemption and so many various things, so many things that are now being remade again on the PS5. Nostalgia hits us there as well. Don't forget the sports. So many people wouldn't want to call LeBron James the greatest basketball player of all time because MJ was their GOAT growing up. Although there is a debate over there, but the nostalgia factor does come into play when deciding who's the greatest player in that sport. Now the nostalgia people for Pele and Maradona are not following football anymore or passed away. The children who grew up with Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi undermine, not saying that they weren't goats, but undermine the earlier generation. Wherever you grew up, that bias comes, and that warm fuzzy feeling comes. The warm fuzzy feeling sometimes supersedes what's in actuality. Nostalgia is a double-edged sword. We may feel those warm fuzzy feelings about the past, about how good they were, but we sort of sometimes undermine what's there in front. What nostalgia is great for is making us feel great, making us feel anxiety-free, while understanding things need to move forward so we can appreciate the past, but move forward. So that's that for this video. Leave your comments about what you think about nostalgia. It is obviously a requirement, but what do you feel about nostalgia and how can we use nostalgia to move forward? Thank you so much for watching this video.